Mitch and Nick found a table and sat down with their beers. "I have to talk to you about something, and I could say it diplomatically, but I'm just going to lay it on the line," Mitch started. He removed his jacket, loosened his tie, had a huge swallow of beer, and then nodded for him to proceed. Mitch laughed. "It's not that bad. Dan is worried that because you're disconnected from the world at the moment, that if I send you in undercover, you could be swayed by the group and become a Nazi. So will you promise me you won't?" He thought for a moment, and then he laughed. "Well, there's no guarantees. I don't agree with anything they stand for, and I'll be working hard at not punching any of them out. But since I'm such a loose cannon—" "Is that really his opinion of my headspace at the moment?" Mitch nodded. "Yeah, clearly, you're screwed." "Shut up," Nick said with a grin. "So you're sending Ellie in with me to keep an eye on me?" "No, I need Ellie to be a set of eyes and ears and a confidant amongst the women. I told Dan I was going to share his concerns with you. I'm telling you so that you go in with your head in the right place. I'll be pissed if you leave my family to go to the other side. Even more so because a psychologist will have been right." Nick leaned forward and sighed. "Dan's wrong. Just trust me on that." They drank and thought in silence. Eventually, Mitch asked, "So what did you say to him that made him think that?" "What did you say to him?" Nick asked. "Me? About you?" Mitch shrugged. "Nothing. He said he had reports that said I was too willing to rush in and put myself in the line of fire." Mitch finished his beer and frowned. "Nah, can't remember putting any comments like that in your file, mainly because I don't think you are. Samantha, yes, but you, no. It might have been during your training." "Yeah, he mentioned there were a few reports from then." "He's probably embellished a bit to get a reaction." Mitch's phone beeped with a text message, and he quickly checked it. "My round, another light?" Nick rose. "Or have we been summoned?" "No, we're good. Just an extra beer. Adam's on his way. He's got a crash course for you in Mein Kampf." "Oh, terrific. Just what I need. I'm changing from beer to scotch." Dirk Schmid closed the book he was reading and watched as his wife disrobed. In her small white satin slip, she paused in front of the mirror, picked up the brush from the antique set he had bought her, and ran it through her shoulder-length blonde hair. She placed it on the dresser and rubbed moisturizer into her hands. She saw him watching, turned, and smiled. Even after 15 years of marriage, he never tired of watching her prepare for bed. She was as glamorous at 35 as she was when he met her at 18 and married her at 20. Allie was born 1 year after. "Marry me, Steph," he asked. Stephanie laughed. She flashed the large diamond ring on her left hand and walked towards the bed. "I'm already married." She lowered herself into bed beside him. "You see, when I was young and wild, I met this dashing man. He was tall, blond, and handsome, and he took my breath away." She leaned in to kiss him. "I couldn't say no, and to this day I only have eyes for him." He returned her kiss and pulled her towards him. Slowly he slid his hand under her slip, and he heard her groan with expectation. When they had finished making love, she sighed with contentment and rolled over to lean on his chest. "Darling, when can I stop the program?" Dirk inhaled. "You know I will do anything you want me to do, and you know how loyal I am to our vision and country, but—" She chose her words carefully. "I'm physically, emotionally, and mentally yours. I always have been, and being partnered with other men in the program, well—" He smiled and stroked her hair as he looked down into her blue eyes. She cleared her throat and continued. "Could you not take my eggs and transfer them, rather than me having to do the act? You know, I would love to do that, but that would be more painful for you, and—" He held up his hand to continue as she began to protest. "I'm the leader. How would it look if all the other wives did their duty and mine received special dispensation? I am focused purely on creating the Fountain of Life 2 program.